Welcome student in our e-learning platform. I am Abhilasha Singh and today I am going to start chapter 8 of class 7, that is more on CSS. This chapter is very lengthy, that is why I am going to divide this chapter in two parts. In first part I will cover what is CSS, advantages of CSS, syntax of CSS and the type of CSS. Okay, and the rest of the heading I will cover in next part. Okay, let us start with our first heading, that is what is CSS. Okay, basically CSS stands for the cascading style sheet. This is used to styling your web pages in your HTML code. Okay, CSS is used to enhance the look of the different element on a web page. Okay, it provides a set of rules for designing the HTML document. It also design the schema and the layout of your web pages, how to present your website on the screen. Okay, let us take an example. If we are making a web page and for decorating that web page we have to do a lot of designing for that. Then again if you want to add a new or design a new web page, then again you have to do all that designing for that page. But with the help of CSS we have the facility to change the look of thousands of web pages by changing just a one file. And the CSS file stands for cascading style sheet, and this file is saved with .css extension. Don't forget this. Okay, now we are moving to our next heading, that is what are the advantages of CSS. First, CSS save time, means you can write CSS once, then reuse the same sheet in multiple HTML pages. You can define a style for each HTML element and apply it as many web pages as you want. Okay, next that is it is responsive. Responsive means this CSS code can be run on any type of devices like phone, laptop, tablet and desktop. Okay, page load faster means if you are using the CSS you do not need to write HTML tag attribute every time. Just write one CSS rule of a tag and apply it to all your documents of that tag. So less code means faster download time or faster load time because it reduces the code. Okay, next, easy maintenance. To make a global change, simply change the style and all the elements in all the web pages will be updated automatically. Easy maintenance means you have to just change one style and rest of the pages style will automatically change. Okay, now move to our next heading, that is the syntax of CSS. Syntax of CSS, how we are writing the CSS code in HTML with the HTML code. Okay, for writing this, firstly we have to write the selector and this curly braces, you need this curly braces. Under this curly braces you have to write the property. Here property stands for the attribute and put the colon here and write the value what you want to set, set the value for that thing. Okay, we can see the example here. Here h1 is the heading tag and within the curly braces here is written the background color, means you are setting the background color that is there for what thing, first for the h1 heading. Okay, this is how you are writing the CSS code in your HTML code. Okay, but there's many ways to write this CSS code in HTML because there's many types of CSS are there. Let us learn type of CSS. Basically CSS of three types. First, external CSS, internal CSS and the third, that is the inline CSS. This inline CSS is there in your book, not these two type of the CSS, but we have to learn about all these three type of the CSS. Okay, so let us learn it one by one. First, external style sheet, that is the first CSS style. In external CSS style sheet, you can change the entire look of your website. Means you can change the entire look of your website by just changing a single file. Means you have to write your styling code in a single file or in another or in a separate file. Okay, you have to write your styling in a separate file and save it with .css extension. Once your CSS file is ready, and then you have to apply your CSS file in all the web pages of your website. Then you have to just write it with the help of the link element and the reference or the hyperlink element. Okay, let us see how we are linking our CSS file with the HTML code with the help of the code. Okay,
For writing the code, we are here using the Notepad++. This is the advanced version of Notepad. Here we are writing the CSS code. As you can see it here, I am writing the external CSS code in Notepad++. Okay, it is similar as the HTML code because we are writing the CSS code under the HTML tag. Okay, for linking the external file or the separate file in this file, for this we have to write the link tag under the head section because I earlier told you I have to write the link tag for linking the external page in your web page. href is used to linking that separate file in your this web page. Okay, I'm closing the head section, then writing the body tag, heading tag, closing the heading tag, paragraph tag opening, then closing the paragraph tag, then closing the body tag, and the last tag is the HTML tag. Here I'm writing, this is my first heading report under the heading tag. Okay, here I'm writing, this is my the first paragraph. You can write it anything, whatever you want to write it here. After writing the code, you have to click on the file tab. There is an option to save the file. Okay, after clicking the save as, you have to choose the location where you want to save it. Then write any name whatever you want. I'm writing it here external.html because it is saving with the .html extension. Then click on the save button. Okay, then you can see the name of your file. After saving the file, you have to just minimize it, then choose the file where it is, then click the right mouse button, then open with Chrome browser. This is how your output look like. This is the way we are writing the external CSS with HTML code. Okay.
next, that is the internal styling. Actually, it is used if one single page has a unique style. Means if you want to change the style of a single page, then you can change the style with the help of this type of the styling. Basically, these two type of the styling, external and internal type of the styling, is used in our making the HTML code. Okay, for the styling the HTML code. Okay, why we are using this internal styling? Because if we want to set the unique style for a single page, then you have to choose the internal styling. How we are writing the styling in internal styling? Then firstly we add all the style in the head section. Means you have to write all the code within the head section with head tag, then with the help of style tag. After writing under the head tag, then you have to write the style tag, then you have to write all the codes there, then close with the style tag. Okay, let us see about this code with the help of the code.
For writing the internal CSS code, we have to write in Notepad++. I'm opening the Notepad++ for writing the code of internal CSS. Click on the file tab, there's the option to new. Okay, then I'm copying the code from the external CSS and paste in at the internal.html CSS. Okay, I'm pasted here, and now I'm removing the link section or the link tag because we don't need it here because we are writing here the code for the internal CSS. After removing the link section, I'm writing here the style tag because internal CSS written in style tag. Okay, under the style tag I'm writing here the body because I'm going to set the style for the body. Here I'm writing the background dash color, that is the linen. This is set for the background of your web page. Then here h1, then I'm here setting the style for the heading tag, that is the color, that is the maroon, and the margin left, that is the 40 px. Okay, and closing the curly braces. After writing the code, you have to click on the save as, then choose the location and give a name internal.html and click on the save button. Okay, after saving it, you have to see this code. Okay, you will see this code with the help of the output. Okay, minimize it, then click on the internal. This is how your output shown. Okay, internal CSS allows you to set the style for a single web page. This is the style of a single page.
Inline styling. This styling is there in your book only. Okay, but this is very rare to use this type of the styling because inline styling is one of the methods used to apply the CSS on the element of a web page. In this method, the style declaration is given to each individual element with the help of the style attribute, as like the internal styling. But internal styling is used for setting the styling for a single page, but inline styling is used to set the styling for a single element. Okay, there's a difference between the single element and the single page. Means single page means that all the styling is applied for your all the things for that a single page, but in a single element means only the styling is set for the single element, means single tag, HR tag. First setting the styling for the HR tag, then only that styling is set for the this HR tag. Okay, to use the inline style, add all the style attribute to the relevant element. Means if you want to set the styling, then you have to just go through the drag tag where you want to set the unique style for that web page. Okay, in the style declaration is given with each element like HR, paragraph, body, etc. Let us see example of this type of the styling. Okay,
For writing the inline style code, again you have to open the Notepad++, then click on the file, then click on new. Here we will write the inline code here. Okay, now I'm start writing the inline code here. Okay, all the things are similar as like the internal and external CSS, but here we are setting the style for a specific element. Okay, now I'm going to set the style for the heading tag. Here I'm writing the style under the H1 tag, then setting the color, that is the blue, and setting the alignment, text alignment, that is the center, and this will show this is my heading. Okay, and now I'm going to setting the style for the paragraph. Now again I'm writing the style under the paragraph tag because it is setting the style for a specific element. Okay, this is the code of inline CSS. Okay, after writing the code, you have to save it with inline.css. Okay, then click on the save button. After saving it, you have to just minimize it and see the output. Okay, and there's so many there are inline CSS coding is there in your book. You have to just write in a notepad and run it. This is how your output look like, and the remaining thing I will cover in next part. I hope you understand well and have a good day.